it's me. Welcome back to episode 3 of my life. I think that is 3. Yes, that is 3. If you're new here, watch the first 2 videos so you're not confused about what I'm talking. It's just me talking. Don't forget to subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you can get notification when I upload these videos to YouTube. Okay, thank you for watching. Now let's go to episode 3, college life. So, college life. I went to Florida State again. In the previous video I mentioned that. I was a pretty good student. I was on the path to going to medical school. That's what I thought I wanted. I mean, I still love health related medical. I still love it, but I don't think that's what God had for me, and I didn't know it at the time. But looking back, if I had really the right encouraging or motivation, someone would have told me that why not do this instead. So as you know, most of you may not know, but when you are from the island, Caribbean, Haitian, Jamaican island, your parents do not want you to be anything other than engineer, lawyer, doctor. Am I missing one? Nurse. Thus far, you're golden. You're the golden child. If you do that, like, golden child. Anything else is deemed hobby and not a career, because it's not a guaranteed money until they start seeing you make the money, of course. Then it's like, oh yeah, I always knew that's what they wanted to do. Yeah, so those are the careers that are set for you. You do them or you don't, or you're not, so that was my path. Looking back, I really love medical. Like, don't get me wrong, I really love medical, but I don't think that was the path for me at the time, but I didn't know it. So I went through a lot trying to get into medical school. I graduated with a child development degree because I thought about it. If I did biology, what job would I get after I graduate that would pay me some money? With a biology degree, what jobs could you get? After 4 years of college, yeah, you would need. So I have my associate degree and I have my bachelor's degree. And I ended up working in a child development field for about 3 years. And I mean, it was pretty good. Just the environment became more and less enjoyable. So yes, they were paying me pretty well. However, at some point I could not deal with the environment anymore, and I had to leave. And I know a couple of people told me just to stay because of the money, but that's not who I mean. I don't want to just work for money, because then my value decrease. I don't want to do that. I know what my spiritual mind needed, and that wasn't it. And spiritually, like, that place, it wasn't the best at some point. So I left, and I left in college. So FSU was a nice experience. I got to experience sororities and seeing them, not in one, but I got to experience freedom. Like, get home, like, I would literally, they had a Denny's on campus. I kid you not, I gained maximum 5 pounds when I went to live on campus. That was like the most for me, because I would go 2 a.m. My friends and I to Denny's, because they were open 24/7. And I would get hungry, go to Denny's at 2 a.m. and then I would go to Zaxby's, if you know what that is. We would go there a lot and then eat. And then Publix had the Chinese food, so we would go there when we didn't feel like cooking. I did, have a kitchen, but with on-campus kitchen, and you're Haitian and you making, and your roommates are not used to that smell, those spices, it kind of gets to, like, you can't be free to cook what you want. Didn't have enough space in the freezer or microwave because it was full of microwavable food, frozen food, so I rarely eat that. So I had to make a lot of food, so that means I had to do groceries. Like, so that was my experience. It was wonderful. It was wonderful for me. Then when I came back home, I think my parents were more lenient. Like, okay, like, you got your bachelor's, so kind of do whatever you want. Not really. Like, you know, curfews, like there wasn't any like, oh yeah, get home at like 2 or something, or get home at like midnight. It was like, if I'm going to come after they get off work, which is usually midnight, just let them know so they're not like something happened to me. Which I was pretty good about, which is what they could always count on. Like, if I'm going out, I could say, okay, I'm not coming back until midnight or anything like that. So then my path to, and then yeah, I did a lot of steps to trying to get into the medical field. And you know, looking back, I really was doing it because people were telling me, hey, you should do this, because I took the MCAT, which you know, MCAT is really expensive test. Took the MCAT, my score wasn't high enough because and when I did my 2-year community college, chemistry was not my strongest suit, so that brought down my GPA a lot. So I did not have the required GPA for schools to be like, yeah, I want, like, she's accepted. So once I learned that, like, I spoke to this one doctor and he was like, I'll give it to you, Frank, you're not gonna get in any school with this. I had a 3.2 GPA. Most medical school require 3.5, 4.0, 4.5, 5.0, you know, GPA, and I did not have that requirement. And then they required for everything in science to be straight A's. Like, that the science grade was not where, you know, they wanted it to be. So I ended up, okay, if I can't do that, then let's do PA, which then became to, let's try nursing school or and things like that. And I went through a lot of money trying to do all these tests and all these schools, just for them not to accept me, which I'm gonna say at the time that wasn't my path. At the time it was really sad. It was really a time where in my life I was like, what do I do? Like, what can I be if I can't be in medical? I can't even pass these tests. I can't even get into medical school, and I can't even get into PA. I can't even do any of that because GPA, all of that, which I'm going to tell you, if those things wasn't required, a lot of medical schools would get great doctors. Like, they would. But they don't care if you have the capability or not. They just care about those GPA and those grades that you can, you know, what you bring for them, regarding grades. And so I went through a time of where I didn't know. I was really sad because I couldn't pass the test. I couldn't get into the medical field. So I had to think really hard into what do I love to do that I don't mind doing for the rest of my life, so that I would not complain about how much I hate my job, Like, what do I love to do that's me? And I started looking into, like, I love doing hair. I did hair in high school for some of my cousin's classmate. Like, I don't know how it did not occur to me. And then anytime people had questions about hair, when I went natural in 2011, they would ask me, and I would tell them, like, okay, this is what I use, this is that. And honestly, if someone noticed, it would have been in my mind, because what most people don't know is that I had a dream in my mind that I had a dream that I was working at a salon that was for curly hair. And I was like, how is that possible if I'm going to medical school? And at the time I was like, wow, that was a pretty cool dream. Like, that was a pretty cool dream. And then I kind of ignored it because I'm like, I'm going to medical school. What this got to do with medical school? So I ignored it, and then I continued my test, whatever. So then once I saw that that wasn't the path for me, like, what do I really love to do? I love curly hair. I love natural hair. Guys, I really do. So I decided to look into cosmetology school, and that was a major, for me, it was good. For everybody else, it was a major event in my life that I would never forget. Okay guys, so my camera died, so I'm recording on my phone, because I kind of just want to finish this video and then I'll get into my hair stylist journey. So that was a very negative moment in my life that I will never forget. Because I got the negative feedback from everyone except like literally maybe 2 or 3 people. And one was my best friend, one was my boyfriend, and actually no, 2 people at the moment when I told them that's what I wanted to do. That was it. Sorry, I'm shaking. I have to hold my video. Couldn't find a thing to hold my phone. And that was, I cried a lot. A lot of my family does not know that, but I did, because everyone was telling me, my parents, yeah, I did not get that support, even though if they were really looking, they would see that, they would have noticed that that's what I was meant to do. But all they saw was, it's a hobby, not a career, and they were not ashamed to tell me that. And I had a pretty heated argument with my mom about it. So let's just say they were not on board at all. I got no encouraging words. I got nothing from them, which when I really needed them to, because that was a huge change in my life. Even my other closest family members, they were not on board. So like I said, only my best friend and my boyfriend was like, if that's what you really want to do. My best friend was like, yeah, I knew it. And I was like she was like, yay, like, oh my gosh, like, finally, like, you're doing it. And I was shocked, because I was afraid of telling her, because I've been telling her I'm going to medical school for so long. But I guess that's what best friends are for. They actually know. So she was my encouraging person, along with my boyfriend. Said, if that's what really, that's a huge change, if that's what you really want to do, then go ahead and do it. He ended up going with me to scout out a school, and yeah, so that was a pretty moment in my life, and I will never forget that. What was told basically told me that this was a hobby, like only only low life go to beauty school, like only people that don't study or don't go to college go to beauty school, or cosmetology school. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm going to end the video there. And so I'm gonna get into my hair, how I became a stylist journey, in my next video. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to charge my camera so that I don't have to keep holding my phone like that. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next video. Bye.